Dear brothers and sisters and sons and daughters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you must be remembering, in the previous lecture, we discussed, first of all, the literal meanings of the word Imaan. And then, number two, the technical definition of Imaan according to the Sharia. Here I forgot to mention the prayer of the Prophet ﷺ. I narrated the hadith in the beginning, but then in the lecture I forgot to mention about it. It was the practice. Hazrat Talha, who is one of the Ashara Mubashara, the 10 topmost Sahaba, Hazrat Talha is one of them, Radiyallahu ta'ala anhu ardah. He is the reporter of this hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ, it was his practice, whenever he saw the new moon with which the new month starts according to the Islamic calendar, he used to pray, Allahumma ahillahu alayna bil amne wal imane wal salamate wal islam. Oh Allah, oh Rabb, you usher in this new month which is now beginning with this moon, with amn and iman and salama and Islam. Here in this prayer, the Prophet included these two pairs of words, amn and iman, because iman is derived from amn. And as we shall see later on, amn is the fruit of iman. Actually, the final result of iman is to give one an inner peace. Peace is in soul, peace in his heart, the inner tranquility, the inner satisfaction, freedom from fear, freedom from grief and anxiety and sorrow. So that is actually the real fruit of Iman. So Amun and Iman and Salama of Islam. And I also recited the ayah from Surah Al-An'am in my previous lecture. That also gives us the same thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks a question in that ayah, 81 of Surah Al-An'am. وَأَيُّ الْفَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَقُّ بِالْأَمْنِ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Which of the two groups has more right for this amn, for this inner peace, the peace at heart, the tranquility, inner tranquility, to be free from fear and grief and anxiety? Who of these two groups, and who are the two groups? In the preceding ayat, that is the discussion between muwahhideen and mushrikeen. So have the mushriks the right of aman, or only the mu'mins they can get aman? فَأَيُّ الْفَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَقُّ بِالْأَمْنِ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Who of these two groups has more right and is more entitled to get inner peace? If you know, you give the answer. And then the answer was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Only those who believe, who have real Iman, and then they don't pollute their Iman with zulm. And by zulm here is meant shirk. And we shall see inshallah after we complete our discussion on Iman, what is meant by shirk, what are the different shades of shirk, what are the different forms of shirk. So if there is Iman, real Iman, without any pollution of shirk in it, then those people, only those people are entitled to have the inner peace and inner tranquility. So actually these ayat and this prayer of the Prophet ﷺ I quoted as examples that Iman has a relationship with Aman. Literally this word is derived from Aman, and Aman is the fruit. The inner peace and tranquility is the fruit that you get in this world due to Iman, based on Iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the real Iman. Then we proceeded to the third topic, the subject matter of Iman. And I told you, Iman deals with the same problems, with the same questions with which all the philosophers, all the thinkers, all the sages, whether they belong to East or to the West, they had been grappling. The same questions have been answered by prophets alayhi salatu wassalam, on the basis of a claim that we have a special source of knowledge which is not available to the other human beings, and the answers to these questions to us have come through that special source. But I forgot to make one point at that place, and that is, as I told you, there are two types of human beings. People who follow blindly, don't question. In whichever society they are born, they accept whatever is being believed there, and they start their practical journey of life. They don't question it. But there have been, and there will always be, although a microscopic minority, but people who question. Why should I believe it? How do you believe it? What's the argument? And then rejecting the beliefs and the norms of their society, then they take upon themselves to know the truth for themselves. So these two types of persons always existed, although the great majority belong to the first category. 99.9 recurrent % people belong to that first category. Only 0.01, or to be more correct, 0.001% belong to the second category. In the same way, there are two branches of knowledge. One is the knowledge of the physical world, and the source to get that knowledge, these are two sources. The sense organs, you see, you hear, you touch, you taste, you smell, the 5 basic sense organs. You get the sense data. Then there is the computer which processes that data, infers, argues, reaches some conclusions, then that is stored in the memory of this mind. And in this way, that physical knowledge, it has been progressing from Adam till Edom, and it will continue progressing till that time that this world comes to an end. This is one source of knowledge, one line of knowledge, one branch of knowledge, knowledge of the physical world, knowledge of the physical things. And this is the science which we call science and technology. This is one branch of knowledge. But we find in history that there was a yearning, an urge in human beings to have the total knowledge, to know what this universe is, where from has it come, what we are, what is the nature of existence, where are we heading, is there any existence of ours beyond the death, or death is the end? So these questions which I enumerated in my previous lecture, they are the basic questions with which the philosophers grapple. And what is this philosophy? An endeavor on the part of human beings to know the total truth. We must know the total. Because our behavior in this world, the practical attitude that we adopt in this world, is based on some philosophy, some ideology. Whether you believe that this is the life, only worldly life, there is no life beyond death, or you believe that there is a life after death, and we will be brought to the book. We will have to explain our conduct in this world. We will have to face the grand accountability of the Day of Judgment. Now the result is, it's wide apart. A person who thinks that only this world is our life, the natural and logical result would be Babar Baish Kosh ki alam dobara taste. Enjoy yourself, eat, drink and be merry. And don't worry what is halal, what is haram, what is permissible, what is not permissible. You should have the maximum sensual gratification that you can have. You should have and accumulate all the wealth that you can. You should have all the luxuries of life that you can have. You must enjoy yourself to the maximum, because there is not going to be any other life. But if a person thinks and believes there is going to be another life, and we will have to explain our conduct in this world, so now the attitude will be absolutely different. So every person has a philosophy of his own. Whether he has thought over it and chosen a philosophy for himself, consciously, willingly, or he is only following a philosophy that is, accepted by his society. The questions are the same. The answers which the people believe, they take them for granted. Okay, there's no life, or there is life after death. Okay, we are like animals. No, we are not like animals. We have a special existence. They accept those ideas and they, start their life accordingly. But every person has a philosophy. Every person has his own worldview. Every person has his own Weltanschauung, which is called in the German philosophy. This is the basic term. The worldview, your own view of this universe, your own views about your life, your own view about your reality, your own view about ethics. Everybody has it. Maybe he's saying something else, doing something else. But whatever he is doing is the real philosophy that he has in his mind. Because he's acting to his philosophy, his ideology, his worldview, his Weltanschauung, that is there with every human being, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now, I told you that Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, when Wahi came to him, he said to his father, in beautiful verse, Ya Abati, oh my dear father, my beloved father, my respected father, Inni qad ja'ani min al-ilmi ma lam ya'tik. To me has come a knowledge which didn't come to you. I told you that the questions are the same, the philosophical questions. But the modes of answering those questions are different. The philosopher said, we feel it is like that. Our intellect, our reasoning, our argument, our logic, it leads us to these conclusions. Maybe we are correct. Maybe there is some mistake. I told you, no philosopher till this date has claimed certainty. No philosopher up till date. And I quoted Allama Iqbal, the biggest poet philosopher the world of Islam has produced in the 20th century of Christian era. The humility that he has, I don't claim that whatever I have said in these lectures, the reconstruction of religious thought of Islam, it is the final truth. We should maintain an attitude, a student-like attitude, to go on thinking, exploring, and maybe that as time passes, more sound ideas are presented. So that is the position of Allama Iqbal, and that is the position of every philosopher or thinker or sage. But as for the prophets, they claim certainty. Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal Kitabul La Rayba Fihi. There's no doubt in it. No book in this world starts with this loud claim, big claim, tall claim. No book. It's just possible. That might be that Torah also started with this claim. It might have been. But because it has not been preserved, we can't say. It's just possible that Injil might have started with such a claim. It's just possible. We can't say because Injil has not been preserved. But the real fact remains that no book in this world exists which starts with this claim that this is the truth, this is the total truth. There is no iota of doubt in it. Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal Kitabul La Rayba Fihi, Hudan lil Muttaqeen. This is the guidance, the total guidance. And I gave you the example of Hazrat Ibrahim. A son saying to his father. The father could have said, you are my son, I am your father. I have more experience. You were just born, I have brought you up. Before my eyes, you are going, you are being brought up. And you say, I must follow you. But the argument that Hazrat Ibrahim presented was, Ya abati inni qad ja'ani min al-ilmi ma lam yatik, fattabi'ni ahdika siratan saviyya. Oh dear father, to me a special knowledge has come, which didn't reach you. So you have to follow me. Fattabi'ni, follow me. Ahdika siratan saviyya. I will lead you to the right path. So that is the, position of the prophets. The difference. Questions are the same. But the modes of answering, the source of the knowledge, different. Philosophers, they are saying from their own minds, their own intellects, their own reasoning. And the Prophet's claim is not our ideas. We don't claim the proprietorship of these ideas. We are not the authors of these books. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam never said, I am the author of this book. What a beautiful book I have written, which had been accepted as the topmost example of Arabic literature. Till this date, even the Christians and the Jews who are Arabs, they accept that this is the biggest piece of literature in Arabic language. But Muhammad didn't claim that I wrote it. On the contrary, he said, no. It's the revelation, it's Allah's book. He has revealed it to me. So that is the difference. But it is 100% correct. Now let us go to the fourth discussion, fourth topic. What were the answers, what are the answers given by all the prophets to these basic philosophical questions? And I told you in the previous lecture that these answers have been the same from Adam to Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There has been no difference. There has been difference in the practical guidance, in the Sharia, in the rules, in the detailed laws of the Sharia. The Sharia of Moses and Sharia of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they differ in many aspects, but no difference regarding this Imaan. The answers to these philosophical questions have been the same throughout. Now please, one by one. Answer number one. This universe which is extending before our eyes, and we don't know the size of this universe till this date. We might claim that our knowledge has, progressed tremendously, but still we don't know where it begins, where it ends. But we know for certain that this universe has a beginning and an end. It didn't exist forever, from ever, and it will not continue forever. This is the first answer. This is Hadis, not Qadim. This is Fani, not Baqi. This is the terminology of the Muslim philosophers. Hadis versus Qadim. Hadis, something which didn't exist before, and then it came into existence. Qadim, something which was existing all the time, from ever. Baqi, which will remain forever. And Fani, which is going to perish, which is going to end. This universe is Hadis and it is Fani. It has a beginning and it has an end. Now please note one point. Previously the physicists, they thought, the physicists of the Newtonian era, they thought that matter is indestructible. This universe is from ever, will remain forever. It has no beginning and no end. But this era of physics, which is called the Einstein era of physics, after the theory of relativity, there is a revolution in the field of physics. Now you must have heard the Big Bang theory. Now it is accepted. It has a beginning. It started with a big explosion, a Big Bang. And from that moment it is expanding. The theory of expanding universe. In a spiral way it is extending. But a time will come when it will recoil. It will go again, and it will become one point. Just as so many galaxies, they have perished, and now they are represented by black holes in this universe, in this atmosphere, in this universe, actually. So that is here, science now has come very near to the answer that was given by the prophets. The answer was, this universe, this existence, it has not existed from ever, it will not remain forever. It started at a particular moment in time, and it will end up. It might be billions and trillions years, from this date, but this is accepted by the science, that it will come to an end. Answer number two. This universe is Hadis and Fani. But there is a person, let me use this word, because we believe in a personal God, not impersonal God. There is a person who created this universe. And that person, he, now let me use the pronoun, because the word person, it doesn't appear to be good for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He, now I use this pronoun. He is from ever and will remain forever. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن. He created this universe and he is the creator. And this universe is the creator. It was created by him. He is alone. One, not only one, alone. Please note, there's a world of difference between one and alone. To one, there is a second one. To a second one, there is a third one. Possibilities are there. Alone. None with him. قل هو الله أحد. Not only Wahid. Al-Wahidul Qahhar. These words also occur for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Ahad is, much stronger word for this concept. قل هو الله أحد. Proclaim Allah is alone. قل هو الله أحد. الله الصمد. لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. He is one and alone. He has no beginning, no end. He existed from ever. He will remain and exist forever. He is Qadeem. He is Baqi. Allahu Baqi. وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ كُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. He is the only existence that will continue forever. Number 3, call him by any name. All the good names belong to him. Lahul Asma'ul Husna. And all the good attributes are with him to the maximum extent. Absolute, limitless. Any value that you can imagine, any good thing that you can imagine is in his person, present with him, and boundless with no limits. Power, authority, qudra, huwa ala kulli shay. He has all power, all authority, can do everything. Fa'alun lima yurid, yaf'alu ma yasha. He can do whatever he likes. And he has the authority for everything. And this, in English you say, he is omnipotent. This is the attribute. Now you have another attribute of ilm. It's a value. A person who has knowledge is better, is superior to a person who doesn't have knowledge. قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. They are not equal. But now he has all the knowledge. هُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا تُسِرُّونَ وَمَا تُعْلِنُونَ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. Whatever you hide, he knows it. Whatever you express, he knows it. Whatever is there in your hearts, you yourself might not be conscious of it. Because today we know there are levels, conscious level of our mind, the subconscious level of our mind, the unconscious level of our mind. 3 levels. Maybe I am not conscious of what I have in my mind, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows even those things which are there in your mind, in your hearts, but you are not conscious of it. So he is omniscient. Then you have another value, life. A living thing is at a higher level of existence than something which doesn't have any life. So it's a value. He is Al-Hayy. He is the living one. And really, he only is the living one. His life doesn't depend upon food. Your life depends upon food. You can't live without air. You can't live without water. You can't live without food. But he, yut'imu wa la yut'am. He feeds you, but he doesn't need any food. Inna Allah huwa ar-razzaqu dhul quwwatil mateen. He gives, he feeds everything, but he doesn't need any food for himself. Then your life there are so many weaknesses with it. You are tired, you go to sleep. He is never tired. وَمَا مَسَّنَا مِن لُغُوبٍ. Never any, any fatigue, or we were never fatigued, we were never tired. Fatigue cannot, touch us. Then he will never die. And he doesn't go to sleep. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. He was neither begotten nor he begets. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. So actually all these things, if you take them together, all these answers to the basic metaphysical questions, if you take them together, they are called Imaan billah. Or you can denote it with one word, Tawheed. This is Tawheed. One creator. This universe is creature. It was created. There is one creator. That creator is from ever, will remain forever. He is alone in his person. He is unique in his attributes. Nobody, nothing, no person like him in any respect. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد قل ادعوا الله وادعوا الرحمن أيما تدعوا فله الأسماء الحسنى. Call him by Allah, call him by the name of Ar-Rahman. Whomsoever you are addressing, you must know that he has all the good names, he has all the attributes, and all his attributes are absolute without any limits, boundless. So these are concepts taken together. You call them Tawheed or Imaan billah.